There are different types and scales of business. Small, large, etc. But then current account alone, why should it be the same type? That's why at City Union Bank, they have newly introduced 5 types of current accounts: startup, regular, silver, gold, and platinum. You can choose the right kind of current account for your kind of business. Each current account comes with exclusive special facilities. This is your friendly business partner, City Union Bank's 5 current accounts. That's why, please open right away for your own business, your own current account.
City Union Bank, Lucky Bank, Techie Bank.
Hey, listen. Ice cream? My treat.
Rohan,
Huh?
you don't even share your tiffin. And today ice cream.
My dad has won a medal for bravery.
Wow, superb.
He's a major in the army. He protects everyone. Karan, what does your dad do?
Rohan, your daddy.
Karan, tell us now.
He too provides protection to people. He's an LIC agent.
That's great. Imagine what if something untoward happens?
So,
Well, Karan's dad provides proper guidance to protect our family's future.
wow, Karan, your daddy is great.
No, he's super great.
We are proud of our million-plus agents who continue to protect countless lives. Our nation needs many more committed agents like them. We welcome you to LIC. Visit your nearest LIC branch.
My journey of insurance and investments began at the same time when I invested in LIC SEEP. In this fast-moving world, SEEP can balance your funds with security and growth. SEEP will take care of the ups and downs of the market and will give you fruitful results so that you enjoy the ride. Woo! And when SEEP is with you, you can soar high.
LIC's unit-linked insurance plan SEEP offers savings and protection so that you can soar high in your life. LIC, हर पल आपके साथ.
This is what I do when I'm down and out. I sing a little song of hope. Life's on, and I'm happy. There are times when life's a struggle, but wake up to that lovely cut of life's on, and I'm happy. Life's on and I'm happy now.
It's 2022, and the world's focus on sustainability is constantly evolving. Driven by the need to create a positive future, we at PepsiCo India are transforming what we do and how we do it. Guided by our philosophy of winning with PepsiCo Positive, we continue to strengthen our sustainability journey by positively adding value to everything we do. Whether it is providing access to safe drinking water through intensive water conservation and continuous water recharge efforts, how we manage our packaging so that plastic never becomes waste, recycling waste into a more useful resource, reinforcing our commitment to increase recycling rates, or how we inspire positive choices through our products and brands, creating more smiles for people and the planet. An agri company at heart, we are driven towards our goal of positively impacting the lives of farmers through collaborative farming, innovative irrigation practices, and sustainable cultivation. The future is positive, and it will continue to be with collective action through PepsiCo Positive.
Punjab and Sindh Bank, a leading public sector bank, was established in the year 1908 at Amritsar. It's been a journey of 114 years where we have served our customers with utmost sincerity and dedication. Today, Punjab and Sindh Bank has a total of 1525 branches and more than 800 ATMs spread all across the country. Punjab and Sindh Bank, where service is a way of life.
ऋषि, ये पंडित जी क्या बोल रहे हैं?
कह रहे हैं कि मुझे तुम्हें जिंदगी के सभी खतरों से बचाना है।
फिर तो मेरी लाइफ खतरे में है, क्योंकि जो कॉकरोच से डर जाए वो मेरी क्या रक्षा करेगा?
वह कॉकरोच छोड़कर तुम्हारी पूरी लाइफ एकदम सिक्योर है।
स्मार्ट लोगों की क्लियर है प्रायोरिटी, बाकी सब बाद में। फॉरएवर वाले रिलेशनशिप से पहले LIC।
Follow the bulls, follow the bears. Follow the booms, follow the busts. Follow the euphoria, follow the lull. Follow the startups, follow the wind-ups. Follow the leaders, follow the laggards. Follow the ups, follow the downs. Follow the pulse, follow the trail. Follow the future, follow the innovation. Follow the deflation. Follow the micros. Follow the macros. Follow the cycles. Follow the monsoons. Follow the farmers. Follow the outliers. Follow the longs. Follow the shorts. Follow the volatility. Follow the line. Business line.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I request all of you to take down your seats? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please do take your seats. We're about to begin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 4th edition of the BusinessLine Changemaker Awards. We are happy to be back after a gap of 1 year. The awards could not be held last year, obviously, due to the pandemic. My name is Suresh Venkat. I'll be your MC for the evening. Please do take your seats. We're about to kickstart the evening, which promises to have some thought-provoking discussions, some scintillating music, and some inspiring stories as we celebrate change makers. Quick reminder, please do put your phones on silent. Don't put them off, just put them on silent. If you'd like to tweet, go on Instagram or go otherwise social, please use the hashtag BLChangemakers. If you don't know what a hashtag is, then you're in serious trouble. Ask somebody who looks young. We kickstart the evening with a couple of fireside chats on topics that have positive change at their very core. The first chat will be a change about that has the potential to disrupt the insurance sector. May I request S.K. Lokeshwari, Associate Editor of Hindu Business Line, onto stage. Lokeshwari, can we have you on stage? And to join Lokeshwari, may I also call on stage Mr. B.C. Patnaik, Managing Director, Life Insurance Corporation of India. The topic of the discussion will be how technology can transform the insurance sector. Welcome, Mr. Patnaik. Lokeshwari, you have 15 minutes to tell us how technology can transform the insurance sector. The mic is on. Just start speaking. It's on.
Good evening, everyone. Very glad to have you all here. This fireside chat is about the insurance industry and the transformation that's going to take place, that is taking place right now because of the adoption of digital technology. So over the last 2 years, all of us have become increasingly aware of the need for insurance, both life as well as health. But there is one more change that is sweeping through the insurance industry, and that is because of the adoption of digital technology and so on. So we're very glad to have with us Mr. B.C. Patnaik, Managing Director of LIC, who has been very actively driving this transformation in this insurance behemoth, which is synonymous with life insurance itself. LIC is life insurance for a long time. So Mr. Patnaik, can we just start by you explaining to us how the entire user experience is undergoing a complete change, right from buying of insurance policies to servicing to grievance redressals and so on, because of technology adoption. So what is LIC itself also doing? Can you share your experience also on that?
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Lokeshwari. Good evening to all. As far as technology is concerned, LIC has been always very keen to adopt the latest technologies. I can put it in 4 brackets, like from 1956 to 1980s, it was supported by some big computers in the central office. 80s to 90s, we had the back-end operations in each divisional office. 90s to 2000, it was supported by the front-end operations in the branch offices. And 2000 to 2010, it was all connected atmosphere. That means all the branches, divisions, they could be connected. And from 2011 to, let us say, 2020 or 22, it's adoption of digital technology. And that means if you see something called renewal premium payments, in a year we collect around more than 38 crores. And out of that, 50% are collected through the digital medium. In numbers, 19 crores. And in amount, it crosses 1 lakh crores. And apart from that, something called digitally enabled, there are premium points. Another 26% that comes from digitally enabled methodology. And also for onboarding of proposals, we have adopted a system called Ananda, which is compliant with all the IID rules, where agents can be in the homes, the customers can be in the homes, and the entire policy process can be completed, and policy numbers and policy bond can also be issued. So we have also supported it, the proposals which are completed at the branch office. The policies, after the data is captured, then it is straight away goes to print to post, and policies are issued. That means no physical intervention in the branch offices. Digitally, the records get transferred, and the print to post system, they issue the physical policies, and also the digital policy issued to the email ID of the customer. So a lot of transformation in the digital space, but as we all know that it's an evolutionary mechanism, and every 5 years what we think today is digitally superior, it suffers from digital obsolescence after 5 years. So we are aware of it, and we are always keen to adopt the latest technology. And I think the journey is smooth, and very soon that means we will be in the best category as far as adoption of digital technology is concerned.
Can we talk a little bit about the insurance penetration in India itself? Because as we all know, the life insurance penetration is at about 3.2%, which is not too bad when we compare with other countries. But when you look at general insurance, it's only 1%, and that's among the lowest among most countries. So do you think digitally, this digital technology, you can do more of marketing, outreach, maybe reach out to the younger generation, to a newer sect? So will that actually help you?
Absolutely, absolutely. You see, that means if you see many of the motor insurance and other things, they are happening also digitally. And India is a growing, or we can call, from the developing country to the developed category, that journey is going on. So you see a lot of consciousness, a lot of wealth in a rising middle class of the country. So there'll be a lot of adoption of four-wheelers, two-wheelers. And with the adoption of digital technology, that means the insurance onboarding will be very, very smooth. And along with it, there are so many other general insurance facilities for the individual customers that can also be adopted by the people, because sometimes it makes the journey smooth. And then as far as general insurance is concerned, it has a lot to do with the industries and other trades. So as we see that we are growing every day, the country is growing every day. Make in India concept has become a very good success. So that will also grow. There is no reason why it will not grow, because it is just a journey.
Do you have any ballpark number about how much the penetration can improve, maybe in 5 years' time or something like that?
Yeah, because if you see that, whether it is the government, whether it's the regulator, everybody desires that particular life insurance industry, they should be growing at 30-40% rate. And the industry itself is accepting that, yes, the potential is there, and we as an organization, we also accept the potential is there. And everybody is working hard. Everybody is working hard, and it is needed for the people. So we have found that it is vice versa. If it is a developed country, then the life insurance industry is very good. And if the life insurance industry is very good also, it aids in the country being a prosperous country. So those theories have been well established. So everybody in the country, that means whether it is press, whether it is the society, all the think tank, everybody feels, yes, this should be greatly successful in our country. And everybody is on the job.
So this question is specific to LIC. So as we all know that you are dependent on the agents for over 90% of your sales channel. So, but if you see the other insurers, they are depending to a large extent on online sales, digital sales, and maybe bank assurance also. So I'm sure LIC is making a conscious effort to change this sales channel mix. So how are you going about it, and how will this channel mix change, you think, going forward?
Yeah, because earlier there was nothing called bank assurance prior to 2000. So it was only one channel, that was the agency channel. And they have done a good job so far. And they continue to do good job. There are agents who where generations they're continuing with the agency line. So it depends on the comfort level of the customers. So agency channel will be surviving, thriving, growing also. Then there are customers who will be comfortable with the bank assurance channel. So that will be also surviving, growing. There'll be sales through brokers, corporate agents. So the fact remains that, yes, people desire insurance, life insurance. And whatever may be the distribution channels, and whatever may be the level of comfort, they have to choose. And they have chosen agency channel to be a comfortable channel. So far in India, and many, not only India, if you go to China, if you go to Japan, that means most of the countries, the agency channel is very comfortable. But apart from that, there are products which can be sold through the bank insurance channel in a comfortable manner. There are products which can be sold through the broker's channel. So that means we should not be talking about channels. The fact remains that the business of life insurance, or whether it is general insurance, it should grow. And whatever is the comfort level through the channels, that should be supported and they should grow.
Okay, point noted. So as digital adoption grows in insurance itself, do you think the products themselves will be undergoing a change? Because now we are seeing a lot of bite-sized insurance products, very small ones. I think even LIC has some micro insurance products and so on. So how do you think the product portfolio itself evolving along with the digital transformation?
There will be coexistence of all the products. Because you see, the needs of an individual is totally in a varied nature. Suppose if you ask me, when I started my life insurance journey, I started with an endowment assurance. Then I switched over to a risk insurance. Then I switched over to a ULIP insurance. So all the policies coexisted. So similarly, if you see, that means all good policy holders, they have all types of products in the basket. I also have a term insurance, so it's like that. So there are different needs. And some needs are for my children's education, daughter's marriage. So it will all depend. So there is a need for protection, there is a need for savings, there is a need for lifetime needs, there is need for pensions. So all these things will be there. So, and all types of sale will happen. Sale will be direct through digitization, sales will be happening through banks, sales will be happening through brokers, sales will be happening through agents. Sales, micro products will be also sold. So,
but when you see all these online sales happening, people buying through the online channels, aggregators and so on. So do you see more demand from that channel for smaller insurance products, the micro insurances and so on?
Yeah.
So as that generation grows, do you think things will change a bit?
Yes, there are good networks. There are networks like CSC, and who sell in the rural areas. They sell micro insurance policies, and and there is a huge market there for these type of policies, and where sometimes many of the traditional channels cannot reach, and they have adopted technology, and the onboarding is also very smooth. The regulator has given permission for a smooth onboarding of this type of customers. So yes, that means we are positive about everything.
Okay, I think our 15 minutes is up. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you.
Patnaik, for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you, madam.
Thanks,
Thank you, audience, for the patient listening.
Excellent. Thank you, Lokeshwari. Thank you, Mr. Patnaik, for sharing with us the potential for technology in disrupting the insurance sector. Lokeshwari, I'm afraid you went off stage too quickly. Mr. Patnaik, can I invite you back on stage? There's a small memento that Lokeshwari needs to present Mr. Patnaik. Can I invite you back on stage for that? Can we have the memento, please? Thank you, Mr. Patnaik. Thank you, Ms. Lokeshwari. May I request you to take your seats? The next discussion will be on the new education policy announced by the government, a policy that has the potential to make India a knowledge superpower. We have with us someone who is best placed to tell us about the new education policy and the change it heralds. I welcome to the stage Mr. S. Vaidhyasubramaniam, Vice Chancellor, Shastra University. Mr. Vaidhyasubramaniam, can we have you on stage? And to moderate the discussion, may I invite Chitra Narayanan, Editorial Consultant, Hindu Business Line, to moderate the discussion. Chitra, can we have you on stage? Over to you, Chitra.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, and a warm welcome to you, Dr. Vaidya Subramaniam. Good to have you here.
Pleasure is mine.
Today's event is all about challenging the status quo and heralding change. And I think education plays a very important role in creating the foundation for change, you know. I mean, India needs more institutions. We need especially the higher education institutions. I think our gross enrollment ratio is a abysmal 27. I think the new education policy hopes to change that. And the target is some 32% by 2022 and more. And I think private universities like yours, have a big role in that, because you need more institutions for sure. But at the same time, private universities, there is a little bit of an issue with the fee structure. So while it'll give access for education, at the same time, you know, there is an issue of affordability. And although I do see that, you know, Shastra University, of which you're the Vice Chancellor, I see names like Girish Mathrubootham, who are alumnus from there, Freshworks. Who hasn't heard of Freshworks and what Girish Mathrubootham has done and given employment? So there's the change that we are talking about. So my query to you is, while you provide access, how do you guarantee affordability?
Yeah. Thank you very much. A very interesting question. The NEP 2020, as it is popularly referred to as, by itself has a lot of inherent policies that can actually trigger some creative changes that can address not only the issue of affordability that you had raised, but a host of other issues that has actually confronted the education ecosystem for quite a number of years. And that's why, if you look at the new education policy itself, and these are policies that don't come, you know, once in a year or as a 5-year plan, but these are transformational policies. That's why the first one that came was in 1968. That time the education was in the union list. The second one was in 1986. That's when education was shifted to the concurrent list. And the third one, that's the latest, 2020, came after such a long gap. And just when we were also having all problems of the pandemic, nobody expected such an aspirational policy coming during the time of the pandemic. Now, that's why I wrote about that NEP 2020 also, that it has various levels that institutions of different types can leverage some of the opportunities that it presents to all these institutions, whether it's the modularity in the NEP 2020, or the interdisciplinarity, or the diversity and accessibility, and more importantly, the sustainability. And that's why I call that as a policy with a golden touch of Midas. So that's, on that question of accessibility, I feel that the centerpiece of NEP 2020 is a sense of autonomy that's going to be given to all types of institutions. So I'm asking the question myself, whether the definition of private itself will be the way in which we are understanding it to be today. So the boundaries between public and private institutions is slowly going to fade away. And secondly, the amount of flexibility, creativity that institutions have to come forward and engage with has given these institutions a lot of opportunities through this NEP 2020 to build a sustainable model that can drive down the unit cost of education, than fearing the fact that, you know, the unit cost of education is going to increase. So that's the level of flexibility that the policy is giving. For you know, want of more time, I cannot unbundle each of them, but there is enough that progressive institutions can pick from the policy and in the process can drive down the unit cost of education. So the fear that it will increase is actually not really true.
Yeah, that's interesting that I think institutions can create a innovative mechanism to make it more affordable. I think a lot of it could be research driven, right? You could get research projects and so on. But at the same time, funding is, I mean, there is an unequal playing field in terms of, you know, government institutions, the kind of funding they enjoy, and the private universities, which is then passed on to the student. So would you, I mean, do you think the ministries, say the finance ministry, or say at some ministerial level, some policy to accelerate a new kind of funding for the private universities could come into place?
Funding, you know, nobody says no to money. So it's always been like, you know, I need capital, I need money. So, but now the rate at which public and private institutions are competing, you know, it's also a challenge for public institutions to also raise capital. So that's why you see even some of the best established public institutions are also creating some innovative pathways to raise capital for their own growth. So likewise, private institutions are also enterprising to make sure that, you know, lack of capital doesn't constrain their progress. But it's a challenging proposition. For example, you know, the NEP 2020 talks about internationalization of institutions, which means they want institutions in India to be world-class. Now, everybody wants to be a world-class institution, but actually the framework of what it is, how to be one, there is no one definitive model. But everybody understands that you need finance to have a world-class university. And if you look at what happened in the historical evolution of these world-class universities, the estimated finance required to set up one world-class university in the 19th century was close to around $50 million, and it required 200 years. Then the early part of 20th century, when University of Chicago wanted to set up the world-class university, they committed $100 million and 20 years. When Cornell put up its medical university, not very far in Qatar, they committed $750 million, but 10 years. They shortened the time. And as recent as King Abdullah University of Science and Technology in Dubai, they committed $3 billion and did it in 5 years. So the time is shrinking, but the need for finance is expanding. And hence, there is crowding out of capital at domestic as well as international levels. Having said that, it is a challenging proposition. Very recently, the 2019 budget announcement for a social sector exchange, so that not-for-profits or private enterprises having social intent as their predominant objective can raise capital. And very recently, SEBI has given regulations, notified the regulations last month for not-for-profits also to raise capital through the social sector exchange. The second thing that I am actually looking forward is between a not-for-profit enterprise and for-profit, there should be a creative model that's called not-for-loss enterprise. So we have to look at, you know, models where we measure what we call the social alpha, institutions that are sandwiched between for-profit and not-for-profit, like these not-for-loss enterprises. We should measure how much of the social alpha they are enriching, and they can be encouraged with access to some privileged capital that can further the growth of this institution. So models will emerge, and definitely I see a lot of hope in such models that can provide the much critical capital for institutions like us.
So education has typically also suffered from too much policy, too many regulations. A lot of regulatory frameworks are there which you have to battle. And you've talked about new models, but do you think new models are all right, but will you hit against the roadblock of regulation? And
Well, that's
the NEP,
true.
does it address that?
That's true for any policy framework in any sector. But given that education is a very critical social sector, NEP 2020, that's why proposes the HECI, which is going to be the Higher Education Commission of India, which is going to unify all the regulatory bodies so that no longer institutions have to run to different corners for different types of solutions. It's all going to be unified, and there's going to be a harmonious construct amongst various statutory and regulatory bodies to ensure that these problems are removed, because the policy is perfectly in place. And I see that as, a Bhumi Puja for the educational reforms. And people also should not get carried away by the fact that, I don't believe in institutions that say we have implemented NEP 2020. It's not an overnight decision that you take. The shelf life of NEP 2020 is 30 years. So it's going to happen over a period of time. And I'm sure it will happen, and institutions also must have short-term, medium-term, long-term, than simply saying, I am NEP 2020 compliant. That's not true. So it's going to be a 30-year journey, and it's about to begin, and this HECI is only going to trigger those types of positive reforms in this 30-year journey.
Okay, so final question. Since again this event is about change, what are the 3 big changes that you foresee will happen thanks to NEP 2020 in the education domain?
Now, I'm beginning to, the answer is in the form of a question, which in fact I can give it to the audience. Now we have to ask the question ourselves, how much of offline is online education going to be? So everybody is talking about online. So the right coinage is now actually we are talking about digital education, both physical and digital. So that's going to be a major change that's going to disrupt the teaching learning mechanism at all levels, not just higher education, from K to 12 up to higher education. Creative ways of pedagogy is also emerging because of NEP 2020. And then choice-based, anytime you enter, you leave, this exit entry mechanism is also actually disrupting the conventional 4-year, 3-year, or whatever the degree durations are, providing students a lot of opportunity to test what they want, and more importantly, the multidisciplinarity that it promises to offer is also giving a lot of opportunities for students to experiment on their career aspirations during their formative years, and just when it is at the appropriate time, they take the right decision and then embark on something that's very passionate to them. So these type of new experiments which were not available when we studied are now actually unfolding through this NEP 2020, and these are broadly the 4 or 5 changes that's going to actually bring about this transformation.
Thank you so much. And yes, I think in combination with Digital India, a smartphone in every village kid's hand, and education streaming through, I think there is a lot of scope for change, right? Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank
Dr.
you very
Vaidya
much.
Subramanian.
Thank you, Chitra. Thank you, Mr. Vaidya Subramanian. May I request you to stay on stage? Chitra, may I request you to present a small memento to Mr. Vaidya Subramanian? Can we have the memento, please? Thank you. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, after those serious discussion, it's time to have some fun. It's time for some exciting music. As you can see, the stage is getting set up for a performance. I'd like to briefly tell you about who's performing and why. We have Divyansh Kacholia and Manuraj Singh Rajput. One is a beatboxer, one is a flautist. The duo are from Rajasthan, and they're the winners of India's Got Talent Season 9. Divyansh is inspired by a Bulgarian beatboxer. Once again, if you don't know what beatboxing is, find a young person next to you and ask them what it means. They'll tell you. He's inspired by a beatboxer called Skiller from Bulgaria. I don't know who Skiller is as well, so don't worry. And Manuraj is Pandit Hariprasad Chaura's student. They may belong to very different genres of music, but together it is said that they create magic on stage. You'll find out whether that statement is true or not. For the next 25 minutes, let's witness the magic and enjoy some scintillating music. We'll just give the technicians a few more minutes to set up before I invite Divyansh and Manuraj onto stage. It seems like we're almost set. Divyansh, Manuraj, can we have you on stage? All right, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for our performers. All right, over to you.
Check. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having us, first of all. It looks like an amazing audience, and we hope you like what we have curated for you guys especially. So yeah, here we go. Thank you so much. Can you guys make some noise? Come on, make some noise. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So moving on to the next one. We both are from Rajasthan. So we have a special place for Rajasthan and we have curated something, folk Rajasthani songs. And we really hope you like it. Thank you.
Come on, join your hands. Come on, come on.
So this will be the last song of the evening, and this is one of the most viral performances of us when we were in like India's Got Talent, and we really hope you'll like it and you'll enjoy this with full energy. So let's do it.
Guys, you'll be having only 5 minutes.
Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big round of applause for our music performers. I'm sure all of you will agree. It lifted the spirits of everyone in the hall and set the stage for the rest of the evening. And now you know what beatboxing is, for those of you who didn't know what beatboxing is. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been informed that our chief guest has arrived. Our chief guest for the evening is Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, Union Minister for Finance and Company Affairs. She will be joining us shortly. With that, we officially begin the awards program with the national anthem. I request all of you to please stand up for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उत्कल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Please do take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a warm welcome to all of you to the BusinessLine Changemaker Awards. Now, these awards were instituted in the year 2018. And in just 4 years, the awards have come to occupy a niche position when it comes to rewarding people and institutions that have brought about positive change in our society. You will soon hear more about these awards. The chief guest, like I told you, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman is already here. She's about to join us. In the meantime, I'm just going to let the AV film tell you a little bit more about the awards. Can you just wait for the gentleman to finish setting up the chairs and then play the Changemaker Awards AV, please? Just give us a minute and then start playing the AV. All right, just hold on for a second. We are expecting our chief guest to enter the venue any second now. Sorry for the delay. We're just expecting the finance minister to walk in any second now. Being the popular person she is, I'm sure she's getting stopped a lot along the way. And we have our chief guest in the house. Please to welcome Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman, Union Minister for Finance and Company Affairs. Minister, welcome. Please do take your seat. Right. To tell us more about the BusinessLine Changemaker Awards. Can we now have the event AV, please? Thank you.
Have you seen superheroes? We have. They do not wear capes, but they are on a mission to change the world for the better. At the Hindu Business Line, we have long believed in superheroes. We have met them, spoken with them, honored them, and we cherish them in our hearts. The Hindu Business Line Changemaker Awards seeks to celebrate the real-life unsung heroes, the changemakers, the ones who envision a better world and work hard to make it a reality. Those trailblazers who have true grit, the pioneers who forge a path where there was none. The Changemaker Awards was started when the Hindu Business Line entered its 25th year of publication to commemorate the hidden gems in our country and to inspire the future ones, to thank the harbingers of change who sacrificed greatly to uplift our society. The Hindu Business Line Changemaker Awards recognizes people through 6 categories. Changemaker-Social Transformation, honoring individuals and organizations who've done commendable work in health, education, poverty eradication, gender equality, women empowerment, and more. Changemaker-Digital Transformation, celebrating those who leverage technology to break all conventional borders and boundaries to create an impact that has transformed human lives. Changemaker-Financial Transformation, recognizing the ones who brought meaningful impact to the society in areas of banking, microfinance, financial inclusion with the assistance of technology or otherwise. Young Changemaker, honoring the under 30 young prodigies who believe in their vision and dare to follow their dreams. Iconic Changemaker, conferring the ones who effected change that has stood the test of time and over the decades transformed the country. Changemaker of the Year, for the undaunted dreamers who effected revolutionary change to the society. Welcome to the Business Line Changemaker Awards 2022. Every year, we follow a thorough process to carefully select our winners. We invite entries from achievers across categories. Nominations are screened and evaluated with help of our knowledge partners Ashoka and Deloitte. The shortlisted nominees are further vetted by our validation partner, Nithi Consulting. An eminent independent jury selects the winners from the validated nominees, who are then felicitated at the awards ceremony. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the grand evening where we will salute the winners of the Hindu Business Line Changemaker Awards 2022.
And with that, may I now request Raghuveer Srinivasan, editor Business Line, to come up on stage and say a few words. Raghuveer.
Good evening, Honorable Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, nominees for the Business Line Changemaker Awards, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Hindu Group and the Chairperson, it's my privilege to welcome you all to the 4th edition of Business Line Changemaker Awards, which recognizes those who lead change in society and make our lives better. The awards process started this year in April when nominations were called for. We received an overwhelming response with over 600 nominations. These were screened and shortlisted with the help of our knowledge partners, Deloitte and Ashoka. The winners were selected by a distinguished jury led by Mr. S. Ramadurai, former CEO of Tata Consultancy Services, at a meeting held in this very venue a month ago. We have an exciting set of winners this year, who will be honored by Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, who is a change maker in her own right. Her rise in the party and government has been meteoric, and it is a reflection of her capabilities and caliber. Under her leadership, the Indian economy has successfully weathered many a difficult storm in the last 3 years. And today, it is the fastest growing among large economies. Post-COVID, the economy's performance has been much superior to that of the advanced world that are now staring at recession. Ms. Sitharaman has been at the forefront of bold reforms, and particularly noteworthy are the schemes that she and her government has rolled out to protect and assist the needy during the pandemic. She has led from the front, whether it be in the series of mini budgets that she presented during the initial months of the pandemic in 2020, or in framing helpful policies during the recovery phase. It is therefore only apt that she gives away the awards this evening to our winners. I consider it a deep privilege standing here today and welcoming you all as the editor of BusinessLine, a newspaper that I joined almost 3 decades ago when it was first published. Do sit back and enjoy the stories of our change makers of this evening as they unfold over the next 1 hour. And I request our chairperson, Dr. Malini Parthasarathi, to speak to the audience. Thank you.
Respected Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, distinguished guests and friends, privileged to host on behalf of the Hindu group of publication the 4th edition of our prestigious BusinessLine Changemaker Awards, intended to recognize, as they say, quote unquote, human catalysts. In other words, these are singular people or groups who have helped effect dynamic change in our society and our economy. These awards are unique and as unlike other corporate awards which honor corporate excellence or financial success. These are for the real agents of socioeconomic change on the ground, whose work have had a transformative effect on the quality of our lives. In a sense, these awards reflect a sense of the approach of BusinessLine as a premier business and finance daily. While other corporate awards place a premium on financial success, the BL Changemaker Awards emphasize the importance of appreciating effort to improve the social and economic environment. This is very much in line with our core values of the media group. We pride ourselves on the fact that we are not linked to any other business or corporate interest. This, in effect, translates into authentic and fact-based reporting and reflects in the credibility of the narratives we carry in our publication. We are honored that we have with us the Finance Minister, Ms. Sitharaman, whose dynamism and commitment to regeneration of the economy is inspirational. And I think along with the Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, it is to their credit, and I think we all need to please applaud this, that India is now ranked as the world's 5th largest economy. BusinessLine is the 3rd largest circulated financial daily in India. It has 3.5 unique visitors, 3.5 million unique visitors to the BL site in a month. It's the fastest growing English business daily in the country with a total readership of 8.4 lakhs. What has really been intrinsic to BusinessLine's enduring resilience in a market crowded with financial dailies is the respect it has from policymakers, analysts, consultants, and investors. I think BL from the beginning had made it a point to place the consumer and the interest and the investor at the center of its narrative. And now, again, thanks to Raghuveer, the new editor, the Sunday offering portfolios become very popular among the investors because of its investment recommendations. With our in-house team of financial and technical analysts, we provide actionable insights on personal finance and investment, empowering readers to make informed decisions. We are proud to say again that because of our complete independence from any corporate or financial group, the quality of our advice is credible and fearless. That's why BL has been seen as a very trustworthy publication. And I think during the pandemic, BL rose to the challenge by becoming more web savvy, launching knowledge series and digital webinars, thereby offering new vistas to our users. I think under Raghuveer, BL has a new energy, and we will continue to ensure that it provides the finest reporting and analysis, even as it continues to place the consumer at the heart of our narrative. We are now embarking on a transformative journey that involves investment also among other things in an updated and redesigned website done by the master designer, Mario Garcia. So we seek your good wishes on our journey, even as we assure you that BusinessLine will remain anchored to the timeless values of our group, while in ensuring the consumer is at the heart of our offering. So I just invite Finance Minister.
Thank you, Ms. Parthasarathi. May I request Raghuveer Srinivasan to escort our Chief Guest, Finance Minister, Ms. Sitharaman, onto stage. It's now time to welcome our Chief Guest with a ceremonial shawl. May I request Ms. Lakshmi Srinath, Director Kasturi and Sons, to do the honors and welcome the Minister. Thank you, Ms. Srinath. Thank you very much. Right, with that we move into the awards ceremony. The first category of the evening is Changemaker-Social Transformation. This award is given to an individual or an organization that has brought about a positive change in the field of health, education, poverty alleviation, women's empowerment, equality, and so on. The nominees for this category are Points for Good, Ramesh Ralia, Saundarya Rajesh, the Rescue Foundation, and Nanhi Khali. Each of these nominees have done a great job in improving our world. Points for Good ensures that underutilized reward points don't get wasted and are used for supporting diverse social causes. Ramesh Ralia has invented a nano-urea that is transforming India's agriculture. Saundarya Rajesh is a diversity advocate who has made it possible for women to have a second career. The Rescue Foundation had made it a mission to rescue and rehabilitate victims of sex trafficking, and Nanhi Kali educates the underprivileged girls, laying the foundation for a just and equal society. And the winner is, any guesses? The winner, ladies and gentlemen, is Ramesh Ralia.
Ramesh Ralia. Fertilizers are an essential part of modern agriculture, and we in India use a lot of it. Though it is needed, fertilizers can cause a lot of damage to the soil and the ecology when used randomly. How do we resolve this problem? 34-year-old Ramesh Ralia's discovery is the solution. He found that nano-urea has the potential to not just help India save billions of dollars in imports and fertilizer subsidies, but also improve farm yields and prevent ecological damage. It can replace nearly 14 million tons of subsidized urea, thus helping India save nearly $40 billion in import bills. It can further reduce logistics and warehousing costs. Ralia is now a consultant at IFCO. He received his PhD from the Central Arid Zone Research Institute of Indian Council of Agricultural Research. His invention of using nanotechnology for nitrogenous and phosphatic fertilizer prevents wastage and water and soil contamination. Ralia's liquid nano-urea is now an integral and important part of India's agriculture policy. He even licensed his invention for free to ensure farmers can access it at a low cost. The technology is working well. According to the government, farmers who are using it have reported an average increase in income of 2,000 rupees per acre. Ramesh Ralia is on a mission to make Indian agriculture more productive, climate smart, and reduce the harmful effects of chemical fertilizers. The Hindu Business Line is proud to recognize Dr. Ramesh Ralia as a changemaker who has brought about a social transformation.
Dr. Alia, can we have you on stage? Congrats, Mr. Alia. The next award category is Changemaker-Digital Transformation. This award is given to a changemaker who leverages technology to bring about change. The nominees are Cropin, Swiggy Instamart, Blackbuck, Dehat, and Arogya Setu. Let me tell you a little bit about the nominees. Cropin has leveraged technology and used real-time data to help farmers take informed decisions. Swiggy Instamart, as most of us know, has changed the dynamics of grocery home delivery. Blackbuck has revolutionized India's otherwise informal trucking ecosystem. Dehat has become a one-stop shop for end-to-end agri needs of farmers, and Arogya Setu, again as we all know, has helped us handle the pandemic better thanks to real-time data on infection spread and vaccination rates. And the winner is? Who? 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 The winner is Dehat.
Dehat. In 2012, IIT Delhi alumnus Shashank Kumar, along with Shyam Sundar, Adarsh Srivastav, and Amrendra Singh, started a company with big goals. Leverage technology to revolutionize supply chain and production efficiencies in the farming sector. They wanted to bring 10 million farmers together on one platform. And thus, Dehat, one of India's homegrown largest full-stack companies, was born. Dehat offers services like soil testing, customized farm advisory, financial services, crop growth and health services, and market linkages to sell the produce. They help farmers buy seeds, pesticides and fertilizers at lower costs. It also eliminates the farmer's need for transportation. Dehat services helped farmers get inputs and sell their produce during the COVID pandemic. Dehat currently is present in Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, and it has established linkages with around 800,000 small farmers through its 4,000 Dehat centers. The company is known for its swift service as it has many rural retail Dehat micro-entrepreneurs to ensure last-mile delivery. They have tied up with over 200 companies to procure seeds, fertilizers and pesticides. Dehat has also partnered with firms like PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Reliance, ITC and Britannia to help farmers get better returns. Dehat's plan to assist farmers through the farming process, right from seed to market, is revolutionizing India's agricultural sector. The Hindu Business Line is proud to recognize Dehat as a change maker who has brought about a digital transformation.
Please put your hands together for founder Shashank Kumar, Shyam Sundar Singh and Amrendra Singh of Dehat. Can we have you on stage? Congratulations, Team Dehat. We move to our next category, which is Changemaker-Financial Transformation. This award is given to those who have transformed society in the areas of financial inclusion, microfinance, banking, and so on, by adopting modern technology or otherwise. The nominees are Lending Cut, Samunati, Zerodha, Kinara Capital, and the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority for the Atal Pension Initiative. Lending Card has been helping micro, small and medium businesses access credit in a hassle-free manner. Samanati helps meet farmers' unmet credit needs and has forged alliances amongst agri-stakeholders. Zerodha, as we all know, has been instrumental in triggering the retail revolution in Indian equity markets. Kinara Capital has been driving financial inclusion by offering collateral-free loans to small businesses, while the PFRDA has provided old age income security for crores of unorganized workers. And the winner is? No guesses? The winner is Zerodha.
Zerodha. What's in a name, you ask? A lot, especially if your company's name puts forth your mission. Zerodha is the combination of zero plus rodha, a Sanskrit word for barrier. Just like the name suggests, the company wants to break barriers that traders and investors face in terms of cost, support, and technology. The Bangalore headquartered company is one of India's top stockbrokers. It introduced zero brokerage, and this has made a great impact in the sector. Nitin Kamath bootstrapped and founded the company to overcome the hurdles he faced during his decade-long stint as a trader. He is a member of the SEBI's Secondary Market Advisory Committee and the Market Data Advisory Committee. Co-founder and Chief Financial Officer Nikhil Kamath is an astute and experienced investor, and he heads financial planning at Zerodha. They also are one of the pioneers of mobile trading apps in India. In addition, they also run a number of popular open online educational and community initiatives to empower retail traders and investors. After Zerodha started operations in India in 2010, the country's brokerage industry was forced to cut down on the broking fee or change the business model from a pure-play brokerage to offer more services. Market regulator SEBI changed the norms on margin trading and cut down on leverage being provided to retail investors and traders. Zerodha's business model helped bring in more retail investors. When India went into a lockdown in March 2020, Zerodha and similar apps gave discounts on the broking fee and also offered customers the ease of trading from home. It will not be wrong to say that Zerodha had a big role to play in India's retail revolution in equity markets. The Hindu Business Line is proud to recognize Zerodha as a change maker who has brought about a financial transformation.
Now, Nitin Kamath, the founder of Zerodha, could not make it because he suddenly fell in and had to quarantine himself, unfortunately. But Dinesh Pai, Head of Investments at Zerodha, is here to receive the awards. Dinesh, can we have you on stage? Congrats, Zerodha. And Nitin, get well soon. The next category of awards is Young Changemaker. This award is given to a changemaker under 30 years of age, and the nominees for this category are Prachi Shnevgaonkar, Aniket Gupta, Dushajoyi Banerjee, Mudit Pathak, and Akash Singh. Let me tell you about them. Prachi helps individuals reduce their carbon footprint and tackle climate change. Aniket has been spearheading a campaign to revamp school curriculums and promote STEAM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts and Mathematics education. Dushajoyi has been fighting plastic pollution through a grassroots level initiative. Mudit has created India's first and biggest artistic community to support and inspire artists. And Akash has been tackling river pollution arising out of temple waste, while at the same time giving prisoners a second chance at life. We have not one, but two winners in this category. In no particular order, the first winner is Prachi Shnevgaonkar.
Prachi Shnevgaonkar. 24-year-old Prachi Shnevgaonkar's journey started with a simple question. what can I do about climate change? To start with, she decided that she needs to reduce her greenhouse gas emissions by at least 10%. But this led to more questions. Should I switch off the bulb? Would traveling by public transport help? What should I do first? And how can I keep track of my progress? These were the big questions she needed to find answers for. That's when she had her epiphany. She built an app that would help individuals set up a target to reduce their own greenhouse gas emissions and help them achieve it. 3 years later, Cool the Globe app came into existence. A free open source app that a common man can use to take individual action on climate change. The app allows individuals to set CO2 emission targets for themselves and reduce their personal carbon footprint. It acts as a guide and helps individuals choose from a host of climate actions that are simple and can be incorporated into their daily lives. The app also shows the power of collective action. It has a place for a global meter which can show the savings made by all app users combined. Prachi firmly believes that individual actions might seem small, but they add up to something quite big when many people work with the same mission. Though Prachi has achieved her dream, the real work starts now. Convince the public to become change makers by showing them that even a small change in their behavior could have a huge impact. Currently, Cool the Globe has 26,000 users. Its website claims that the initiative has reached 110 countries and touched the lives of over 2 million individuals. Nearly 3 years since its launch, it has saved 1 million kilograms of greenhouse gas emissions. Prachi's work has not gone unnoticed. She is the youngest and the first Indian to be appointed to the advisory board of the Climate Leadership Coalition, which is the largest not-for-profit climate business network in Europe. The Hindu Business Line is proud to recognize Prachi Shevgaonkar as the Young Changemaker.
Prachi, can we have you on stage, please? Congrats, Prachi. Like I told you, the jury had decided on 2 winners, that there were 2 worthy candidates in this category. The joint winner for the Young Changemaker Award is Akash Singh.
Akash Singh. From making an eco-friendly wind power module to building a smart irrigation sprinkler, 22-year-old Akash Singh has been a social innovator since his childhood days. Hailing from a small village near Jewar in Uttar Pradesh, Akash launched his startup Energini Innovations in 2018 to provide skills to prisoners and under trials while transforming temple waste into eco-friendly and upcycled products such as sculptures and handicraft items. Energini Innovations is being incubated at the Birla Institute of Management Technology under the Atal Innovation Mission. Akash's idea is novel, but the implementation started out small. Just 1 jail in the National Capital Region. Now it has expanded to 4 more. Over 8,500 tons of temple waste have been recycled so far. This has led to an offset of about 80 tons of pesticides. The Energini Innovations team collects over 3 tons of waste every day from over 150 temples in the National Capital Region and redirects it to prisoners at Gautam Budh Nagar District Jail. As many as 46 jail inmates who were trained in the prison have been provided job opportunities when released. Now, Akash is also including female prisoners and is looking to expand to recycle jute products. The startup has made both quantitative and qualitative impact. Under trials and prisoners who are often stigmatized are now getting new skills, and that would help them make a living after they are released. And the rivers have been spared of thousands of tons of waste. The Hindu Business Line is proud to recognize Akash Singh as the Young Changemaker.
Congratulations, Akash. Can we have you on stage? And moving on, the next category of this award is the Iconic Changemaker Award. This award is given to a person who has brought about a significant change and transformed our country. Unlike other categories, we do not invite nominations for the Iconic Changemaker, and the jury picks a winner from a list that is drawn up after an intense debate by senior editors of BusinessLine and our knowledge partners Deloitte and Ashoka. This year, Iconic Changemaker is someone who, with her copybook stroke play, spectacular cover drives, and graceful shots, has not only won fans around the world, but also lifted women's cricket from relative obscurity to the center stage of India's national sporting consciousness. Look around the room, can you guess who I'm talking about? No? This year's Iconic Changemaker is none other than Mithali Raj.
Mithali Raj. Mithali Dorai Raj is an iconic sportswoman who has inspired thousands of girls to pick up cricket. Mithali, the daughter of an airman in the Indian Air Force, has represented the country at the top levels of the sport for 20 years, which is a world record in women's cricket. She started playing cricket at the tender age of 10, practicing with her brother, and made it to the Indian women's squad just 4 years later. When Mithali first started playing, women's cricket was not under the cash-rich Board of Control of Cricket in India, and the sport had barely any following. Players had to struggle for funds and respect. Basic facilities were not available to them. These hardships did not stop Mithali. Her superlative performances and inspiring captainship metamorphosed women's cricket in the country. The right-handed batter is the highest run scorer in international cricket in all forms of the game and has played for India between 1999 and 2022. She captained the side for 18 years. Mithali holds many records. She is the only woman cricketer to have crossed 7,000 runs in one-day international matches. In 2018, she became the first player from India, male or female, to score 2,000 runs in T20 internationals. She has led the team to 2 50-over World Cup finals. This is a feat that no other Indian captain, male or female, has achieved. There has been a lot of changes in women's cricket over the years. The BCCI took over administration in 2005, appointed good coaches and mainstreamed the game. The media too started to cover women's cricket. All of this helped Mithali and her teammates break barriers and become agents of change. Even after retirement, Mithali still wants to actively help women's cricket grow. While announcing her retirement, Mithali said she would love to get into the administration as her experience can help in growing the game. Her copybook stroke play, nifty footwork, graceful style, which many ascribe to her Bharatnatyam skills, and spectacular cover drives have earned her the respect of pundits of the game. Mithali's exploits on the field have helped change perceptions about women's cricket. The Hindu Business Line is proud to recognize and reward Mithali Raj as the iconic Changemaker of the Year.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can do better than that. A standing ovation, please, for Captain Mithali. Congratulations, Mithali. The final category of awards is the flagship Changemaker of the Year award. Now, this award is given to either a person or an organization that has brought about a far-reaching change in society, the impact of which has been felt significantly in the last 1 year or more. The nominees are Bharat Biotech, Banas Dairy, the Ministry of Petroleum for their ethanol program, the Serum Institute of India, the Ministry of Civil Aviation for their Udan initiative. Let me tell you more. Bharat Biotech has saved millions of lives by developing indigenous COVID vaccine. Banas Dairy showed us the way to tackle a severe oxygen shortage during the peak of the second COVID wave through pressure swing adsorption technology. India's ethanol program has enhanced the nation's energy security, reducing emissions and saving forex outgo. The Serum Institute has not only helped India but other countries fight the COVID pandemic with its vaccine. And Udan, of course, gave wings to the common Indian aspiration to fly. And the winner is? It is Bharat Biotech.
Bharat Biotech. In 1996, Krishna and Suchitra Ella returned to India from the US to create biotherapeutics and vaccines to address the diseases of the developing world. They were driven by the passion of entrepreneurship to set up a firm that can be a hub of innovation and an engine of intellectual capital. Thus, Bharat Biotech was born. The initial journey was, of course, bumpy. The couple had to sell their home for mobilizing seed capital, and they further sought support from 2 angel investors to raise $3.5 million. They also had to negotiate a not-so-friendly business environment. India had just ushered in economic reforms, but there was still a gamut of regulatory issues and red tape. The Ellas did not lose heart. They launched the world's first cesium chloride-free hepatitis B vaccine. Bharat Biotech never looked back after that. Today, Bharat Biotech has 160 global patents, a portfolio of 16 vaccines and 4 biotherapeutics, registrations in more than 123 countries, and World Health Organization pre-qualifications. Located in Genome Valley in Hyderabad, Bharat Biotech is a vertically integrated biotech company that enables access to affordable, safe, and world-class vaccines. The jewel in Bharat Biotech's crown is Covaxin, which is India's first indigenously developed COVID-19 vaccine. This vaccine was developed jointly with the Indian Council of Medical Research. They have supplied 10 billion doses of vaccines across the world so far. However, this is not their only achievement. They have delivered more than 5 billion doses of vaccines worldwide for influenza H1N1, rotavirus, Japanese encephalitis, rabies, chikungunya, Zika, cholera, and the world's first tetanus toxoid conjugated vaccine for typhoid. Its products now reach nearly 6 billion people in the developing world. The Hindu Business Line is extremely proud to recognize and reward Bharat Biotech as the Changemaker of the Year.
Please welcome Suchitra Ella, Joint Managing Director, Bharat Biotech. Ms. Ella, can we have you on stage? Ms. Ella, before you leave, I have a quick question for you. You join. I request the Minister, Ms. Parsati and Raghu, please take your seats. India has been known as the contract manufacturing capital for the longest time, but you're changing that. How many years before we are known as the intellectual property capital of the world? Before we are the intellectual property capital of the world, not just a contract manufacturer.
It's been about 27 years in our journey that we believe that we just don't need to be generic. that we don't need to be generic makers of vaccines and biopharmaceuticals, because from day one when we returned to India from the United States after training there for more than 14 years, we believe that India needs to innovate, and we need to develop indigenous technologies, and we need to also manufacture it here, because our population and the demands in public health is extremely high compared to many other smaller nations. Though they are wealthy, but they can afford those high technology and the high costs. But for us in India, we believe that it was important that we need to make vaccines, not just manufacture, not copy, not be generic, but to develop, to home grow the technologies and to bring the IPR from India. So that was the vision and the mission and the passion that we started out with.
All right, congratulations once again to Bharat Biotech, and thank you for your service to the nation.
Right. Now, this brings us to one part of the evening, which is the awards ceremony. It's now time to hear from our chief guest, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman. She's a change maker in her own right, as you heard Raghuveer say. She's broken many, many glass ceilings in her political journey. She's the first woman finance minister to have independent charge of the ministry. She was also India's first woman defense minister. Ms. Sitharaman, may we hear from you now?
Good evening, and thank you to all the board members of the Hindu group for having me here today. But first, let me again congratulate the award winners today. Your stories are remarkable, very inspirational, and I can see a slant that the change makers are focused only largely on agriculture and also on environment-related matters, areas where actually we want a lot of disruption. And it's very satisfying to know that disruptions are happening in those very areas where we need change, and remarkable changes. And these are changes which are going to make, for the next couple of years, a change in the mindset of people who are actually the stakeholders in that area. So changing the minds of the farmers, changing the minds of households, changing the way we treat our waste, and looking at policies which will have a bearing on every one of these areas. So the awards are only a first step. They highlight how there are solutions available, and those solutions are the ones which have to be, those and similar such solutions are the ones which will have to be absolutely encouraged, given more assistance, so that that becomes commonplace. We need to rapidly and in a very ferocious pace change our mindset towards how we live, how we treat our environment, how we want agriculture products to be less harmful to us. Decades of using pesticides are showing in our health. So I'm really happy that the Hindu Business Line has looked at change makers of areas such as this, and the jury has actually made a good selection of change makers, and giving them the award humbles me that we have people around us who have just done so remarkable work, although have not made much of a noise. And today I think that deserve all the commiserations, appreciation that we are willing to do as we sit in this audience. But of course we have to take this cause further, and I would appeal to the Business Line management to ensure that these people and their work are also covered adequately in the kind of reporting that you do. But otherwise, there's, I'm not sure today is the occasion for me to talk about the economy. You've heard it. Business Line writes a lot about it. But I will want to say one thing about Business Line. Call it as a habit of a spokesperson who's been trained for a political party. I make sure I spend a lot of time reading papers. and I don't miss out on papers in the sense I don't judge them because they are this way or that way in their political ideology or leanings, because newspapers are no longer, I would think, completely objective. They do have a slant. I'm not taking this occasion to blame as to why they take the slant, but they have their own little tinge of shades which get reflected. But BusinessLine is a paper which, for me, comes out with some of the best reporting on the economy, on agriculture, on futures, on commodity markets, and amazing coverage of issues. And I wish it has a lot more all-India readership. But the depth to which you go and also the exhaustive reporting that you do, you stand out as one of those business papers, although which has not been there in the market for a very long time. You are at par with some of the best. India doesn't have very many newspapers which report exclusively on businesses. So actually that typical granular collection of data, writing up of stories, reporting on something, and then pursuing it further to see after the reportage, has there been any change? These are kind of consistency which newspapers should cultivate as a quality, because business news will have to have both the macroeconomic issues being dealt with as well as the microeconomic issues, because unless we know how things develop in the ground, you're not just going to be able to make policies which are going to result in larger good for the country. So I do take this opportunity, and happily at that, to say BusinessLine and its reporting quality and the contents of the paper, the extent, the scope of the issues that you cover are all noteworthy, and I do derive a lot of information from it. I look forward to reading the paper every morning. But as it is, I think we are at a time when big changes, immense lot of changes are happening all around the world. I'm not here to say, you know, we've become 5th largest, hey, so we've done it. But yes, I am going to say that, because nearly a decade ago, we were in the 11th position. These are not rankings given by this government. So in the 11th position a decade ago, and in that 11th position, we kept seeing countries above us, remarkably the United Kingdom in the 5th position then. Today, within a matter of 10 years, India has moved from the 11th position to the 5th position. It is not a mean achievement. It's all our achievement. It's all our achievements. It is the people of India who should take credit for it. Yes, the government is there. It gives you a lot of policies. It removes hurdles. It facilitates. But the people of India, and in these 10 years, do not forget, we've had a pandemic where, like never before, we had to lock down the economy. We had to bring everything to a grinding halt. But after that, the speed with which we've recovered, are still recovering at a pace which entire world looks at with a sense of awe. And in that, the process of recovery, it happens in a very politically vibrant country. India is a very vibrant political environment. There are always questions about, is it K, is it we, is it you, is it L? What is this recovery like? I'm not here to criticize that, but the fact is the recovery still retains us as the fastest growing economy from among the large size economies. So these are not things which we can continuously deride. This is the achievement of the people of India. You like the government in power today or you don't. It doesn't matter. but by constantly underplaying the achievement of Indians, saying, oh, this is nothing. Oh, your inflation is at 6.9. It is not below 6. Yes, who doesn't know these realities? I think somewhere at a time when it is very critical for all of us to be positive and future-looking with a vision and encouraging each one of us, each other, to ensure that we don't lose the momentum. How many times in Free India's history have we not had opportunities to push ourselves forward in a much faster pace? And for whatever reason, I'm not here to blame anybody, but whatever reason, we just couldn't catch the bus. We cannot afford to do that this time. And especially when everything else is falling in place, our self-deriding attitude should not be so strong as to make the young Indian minds suspect about what is happening in this country. They are the ones who are contributing. All of us are contributing. And in our energy and enthusiasm to keep our democracy alive with our right to speak freely, yes, we should have the right to speak freely. It shouldn't go to the extent of becoming so cynical. Look at where we are today. Of course, 1991 happened. Who denies it? But the pace at which it should have happened was lost out in 10 years. Now all that is being made up for, and we are moving fast in spite of a pandemic which has stranded us for a quarter, and after that recovery did take its own time. So I take this opportunity for all of us to give ourselves that moment of pause, think about what we are doing to our country. Even if we don't serve it, at least don't disserve it. At least don't spread your toxicity. This is a time when all of us want to be positive. We want to engage. Look at the brilliant contribution these award-winning people have done. What hope in life they had when they started, saying, oh, it's going to be recognized. Hindu Business Line on that day, 9th September, is going to give me an award. Did they have that feeling? They just went about it. And they made a difference to the society. Now, are we just going to, from tomorrow, forget them and say, it's all right, nothing is happening in this country? Everything is happening. So I take this opportunity to not speak about just the achievement of the country. Yes, achievements are there for all of us to see. If you had 10.6 lakh crore worth of transactions in UPI, if you have an India stack, which is now the envy of the world, every bilateral that we talk about with our counterparts who come from different countries, that's the first thing. How did you manage? What is this digital achievement? And look at the scale of a digital achievement. You press a button in Delhi, in every part of the country, the beneficiary receives the money that instant. And I'm not comparing myself with anybody else, but the developed economies who are still writing checks and putting in the post boxes and waiting for them to be received by their beneficiaries. Please, please, let's all sit up. Stop the negativity. The achievements are not there for unnoticed, and we are crowing about it because it's our own achievement. It's in the face for everybody else. We should, I think, at this stage, please make sure that we contribute to the Indian economy, make sure that we're all able to, in our own, terrain, in our own areas, realize the value of the word of mouth. Newspapers are important, digital platforms are important, television is important, editorials are important, speeches are important. But the word of mouth is what is even more powerful. We should be confident of what is happening in India and speak about it to everybody. Hey, look, all of us did this. We've come out of this. And look at the achievement of Bharat Biotech. I singularly take that name. Today we have a nasal vaccine which has got the approval. I mean, tell me in any part of the world, they're still looking for syringes to give the vaccination. Here's a new model. We are patenting it. You're getting it. Purely Indian. So I'm sure there are very many more such things happening in India. We are benefiting by it. Youngsters in India are desperately wanting to make that leap forward and not go in that incremental increases. I appeal to all of you. It's time for all of us to please sit up and be positive about India. Not just for the GDP growth, not just because our foreign exchange reserves are very high, not because we've done great lot of things about the digital platforms, co-wins and stacks, but there are several more which we need to pull out and talk about it. And that's where I take one example of what Prime Minister has done. Look at the Padma Awards. Look at the people who get the Padma Awards. And each one has done remarkable work in those corners of this country. They've received that recognition. It is that kind of all of us looking at the best which is happening around us, which we need to pull up and say, this is my India, these are the people who are contributing to India, and we are only going to move forward and forward at a good pace. No more of my emotional charging out. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I wish all of you all the very best.
Thank you, ma'am, for that inspiring speech. I'm going to request you to stay on stage for a little while longer. It's time for a group photo. May I request all of our winners today with your trophies quickly come up on stage for a photo opportunity with the Finance Minister, Ms. Parsati and Mr. Srinivasan. All of tonight's winners with your trophies, can we have you up on stage? Thank you, winners. Minister, Ms. Parsati, Mr. Srinivasan, can I request you to stay on stage? I now request Ms. Malini Parthasati to present a memento to Ms. Sitharaman. We are presenting the Finance Minister with something she's passionate about writing. This is a handmade pen from Tamil Nadu. Every year, along with the awards, BusinessLine comes out with a Changemaker special issue that profiles the winners and brings out the good work that they're doing. We have done that this year as well. May I request the Honorable Union Minister to release the special issue of BusinessLine. Can we have the tabloid paper, please? May I request the Minister to release the special issue? May I request Mr. K. Venugopal, founder editor of Hindu BusinessLine, to join us on stage as well. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Venugopal. Ladies and gentlemen, please do pick up a copy of this special... Sorry, we need another photo opportunity. Mr. Venugopal, back on stage. We need one more copy. All right, everybody has a copy. Ladies and gentlemen, the special edition, the Changemakers special of BusinessLine. Please do pick up a copy for yourselves. on the way out. This is the collector's edition. I promise it will leave you inspired. The special issue will also be circulated with the Monday edition of BusinessLine across the country. May I now request Mr. L.V. Navneet, CEO of the Hindu Group, to escort Mr. B.C. Patnaik, MD of LIC, Mr. Nitin Chugh, Deputy MD and Head of Digital SBI, and Mr. Vaidya Subramaniam, Vice Chancellor of Shastra University, onto stage. Navneet will hand over the first copies of the tabloid in the presence of the Finance Minister to Mr. Patnaik, to Mr. Chugh, and Mr. Vaidya Subramaniam. A couple of more copies. Just give us a second to complete our photo op. All right, we're all set. Ladies and gentlemen, the special edition of BusinessLine, you will get it with your newspaper on Monday morning across the country. Thank you, Navneet. Thank you, Mr. Patnaik. Thank you, Mr. Chugh. Thank you, Mr. Vaidya Subramaniam. Ms. Sitharaman, Ms. Parthsarthi, and Mr. Srinivasan, thank you very much as well. May I request you to take your seats in the audience? Thank you for doing the honors. We have one final act before we wind up for the evening, and it's going to be special, so don't go anywhere. It has become a tradition at BusinessLine to conclude the awards function with an inspirational talk by a changemaker. This year too, we have someone who's inspired an entire generation. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand together to welcome on stage ace cricketer Mithali Raj, who will be sharing her journey and uphill tasks that she faced to achieve what she did. Mithali, can we have you on stage? No, I'm from the back here. Thank you. We have a mic. All right, welcome back on stage, Mithali. Now, you've challenged the status quo by bringing women's Indian cricket to the limelight. I know you're celebrated today, and there's a film made on you today, and everybody is saying how successful you are. Tell us how difficult the journey was. What kind of hardships, maybe gender obstacles, financial obstacles, what did you face to get here to the stage today?
You're asking me to go back.
I think it's working. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, it's working.
You're asking me to go back to decades and talk about the challenges.
It's been 20 years for you, yeah.
It has. I think the biggest change that, the challenge that women cricketers and the women's cricket as a sport in our country had to face was the perception of people to accept women playing the sport. It was for a long time a male-dominant sport, and it took many years, a lot of challenges, tears, and obstacles that every women cricketer has to face to get to see the change that today where women's cricket is and the stage that it has been. A lot of due and, gratitude to all those ex-cricketers who kept the sport alive. For a young girl like me to take up in 90s. And when I got into the sport, obviously I myself didn't know about the history of women's cricket in our country. As I started to, when I played international cricket in the 99 and 2000, early 2000, women's cricket was still in obscurity. And I started to see the men's cricket rise, but our sport was still there. I felt maybe the individual brilliance would start the talking around the round table for people to talk about women's cricket, but that was not enough. And the 2005 World Cup, the runners-up that we were, wasn't enough for the sport to come up in the limelight. I think, from where it has come, coming under BCCI and a lot many other changes that took place coming under the richest board. Of course, the support of our Honorable Prime Minister in the last 5-6 years have seen the growth of just not sport in our country, but also the acknowledgement and recognition to the women athletes from every field. I think we've come a long way, and I can only see the years of the future years for sport in general in our country to grow like leaps and bounds.
Mithali, who were your inspirations when you started playing the game? When you were a young girl, who did you look up to?
Well, we didn't have much of women role models then. I mean, I
Maybe
remember
in other sports as well.
I
not just
remember
cricket.
P.T. Usha and Karuna Malleshwari, the two women who I've seen a lot of articles written about. But playing male dominant sport that time, I looked up to Sachin as a role model. But for women in general, I think my mother has been a role model to me. It's been a long career and I have many role models. But as young children, we are more, every day we watch our parents. So they are our first role model. So mother has been my role model. My dance teacher has been a role model. She has been a very independent woman way back in the 90s who used to drive her own big car. So I used to be in awe of her whenever she turned up to the classes, and I wanted to be like her. So I think she was one of my foremost role models when I started playing cricket.
Mithali, it's been said that, at least we non-sports people think of to be a super successful sports person requires tremendous sacrifice. Right? You don't have time for friends, you don't have time to socialize, you have a super strict diet, you have to wake up at 5 in the morning. Lots of these sacrifices. Is it true, or is there some fun as well that you guys manage to have?
Well, when you start young, you always try to have some fun there. You can't really follow the rigid, regimental lifestyle. It can take, as young children, we don't look at being, brought up that way strict. When you're confined to following a certain lifestyle, as children, you always try to find some ways to be, enjoy yourself. And I did have my good time with my teammates and some wonderful memories on and off the field.
All right, just 2 more questions for you. Obviously, the film that was made on your life, right? What does it feel like to have some other actor play you? And when you see yourself on stage, you say, no, that's me, but that's not me, that's me, that's not me. How does that work?
Well, I didn't have that sort of thoughts. The only concern I had was, will she be able to bat like me?
And can she?
Yeah.
Can Taapsee Pannu bat?
Yeah, because I mean, when I met her for the first time, both of us are like poles apart. She's like this chirpy, energetic girl, and I'm this silent, passive person who hardly talks.
Really?
Yeah, and she said like, it's going to be very difficult and challenging role because all she has to do is emote. There's less of talking, a lot of emotions to show through her expressions. And I told her the only thing I'm looking at is, how are you going to bat like me? But she really had to put in a lot of hard work, and credit to her for actually pulling off that role. And as far as the movie, yes, initially it took me some time to say yes, because you are actually putting out maybe the vulnerable emotions that as athletes, we sort of keep it within ourselves. It's out there for the entire world to know. So you would be a little concerned how it would be received. But then I saw it as an opportunity, for the current generation and for people to know a little bit about the history of women's cricket, what it was, what are the challenges that the cricketers had to face, and where it has come, the sort of a revolution that we've seen over the years. I wanted people and the current generation to know a little bit about it, so I thought this would be the right medium to get that out.
Finally, Mithali, a word of advice to young aspiring women cricketers, young girls who want to take up the game and one day be Mithali Raj.
Well, I would tell them not be Mithali Raj, but be bigger than Mithali Raj, for sure. But I think with the social media, it has its flips as well. It has advantages and so the disadvantage. So for young players, I would only say that there is absolutely no shortcut. You really have to slog and work hard. And any result which is positive and successful will not come overnight. There is a process, and one has to enjoy that process of working hard, the uncertainties of the sport, and
try to be more focused with the distractions around, find the right support mechanism that when they fall, they have the protective mechanism to get them back on the track. So, I mean, the current generation, they don't need advices.
They don't need advice. All right, Mithali Raj, thank you very much for
Thank
being
you
with
so
us
much.
on stage. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Just one moment, please. May I request Ramesh Rangarajan to come up on stage and give a memento to Mithali? Ramesh, can we have you on stage? Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you, Mithali. May I now call upon Suresh Balakrishna, Chief Revenue Officer of the Hindu Group, to offer a vote of thanks. Suresh, can we have you on stage?
We will finish the evening with the national anthem after the vote of thanks. So I would recommend that please stay seated. I know vote of thanks is not the most exciting piece of information to hear, but please hold on till I finish. I have a lot of people to thank. What an evening. What an evening. Inspirational, goosebumpy, if you ask me. The kind of winners we have had. All the change makers who have flown in from across the country to receive the awards and do some wonderful work. Thank you so much, firstly, to you. Secondly, all the business line readers, audience. We heard one business line reader on stage today say that she loves to read the business line. Thank you so much. We were privileged, Madam Minister, that you spent so much time here with us. We're really honored and thank you so much for doing this for us. My special thanks to the esteemed jury members who've gone through a lot of pain to arrive at so many winners. And of course, this event wouldn't have been possible without the support of our partners. Our presenting partner, LIC, thank you, sir. Our powered by partners, SBI, my friend Vaidi, Shastra, thank you so much. Thank you, Manipal Hospitals, our healthcare partner. Our banking partner, Karnataka Bank, associate partner, Punjab and Sindh Bank, sustainability partner, PepsiCo, co-partner, City Union Bank, and telecast partner, Z Business. I would also like to thank our MC, Suresh. Thank you so much for conducting the event so well. Thank you so much for having done a good job for us. My sincere thanks to my dear, dear, dear friends at Hyperlink Brand Solutions, the event company who's put this fabulous show together. Gautam, thank you so much wherever you are. Special thanks to our gift partner, Anand Prakash. Knowledge partners, not to forget, who did a lot of work to make this happen, Ashoka and Deloitte. And validation partner, Neeti. Finally, I'd like to thank and applaud all my colleagues from editorial, marketing, who've been working tirelessly to make this event happen. And if the crowd in this room is anything to go by, this event has been super successful. So thank you, all my colleagues, for doing a fabulous job. We are going to have, please stay back. You need to meet everybody. There is cocktails followed by dinner, so please stay back, socialize, meet your friends. 2 years, a long time not to have met people. So use the opportunity to network and meet people. But before we do that, may I request everybody to please stand up for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to the end. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the BusinessLine Changemaker Awards 2022. Please do join us for cocktails and dinner, and do meet each other and say hello. Thank you.